G. Garvin hanging out in Charleston, South Carolina. Got a great show for you. The Gullah Tour. My man Alfonso knows his stuff. He's going to show us the city. You're going to see a lot of things you didn't know about. We're going to hit 82 Queen, one of the finest low-country restaurants of its kind right here in Charleston. And then Gallery Chuma, a great space for some fine art. Because that's how your boy G. Garvin is doing it on road tour in Charleston, baby. The one thing we know for sure is that in Charleston, South Carolina, there's no shortage of great artwork. But here's a place unlike anything you've ever seen. It's the true Gullah culture of art and history at Gallery Chuma. You're going to love this just as I do. This is one of the largest African-American galleries in the South, Gallery Chuma. And this is the owner, Chuma himself, and he's going to talk to us about what's here and the significance of all of this amazing artwork.
Welcome to Gallery Chuma.
Thank you very much.
And I want to show you some of the work by our Gullah artists, Mr. John W. Jones and Mr. Leroy Campbell. They're doing a great job trying to preserve this history because in a few years, you're not going to see scenes like this. In this painting by Leroy Campbell, it's a baptism scene. This actually still takes place.
I am from Charleston. I'm a self-taught artist. I started drawing creatively when I was about 8 years old. It was a way for me to recover emotionally from being teased about my birth-affected hands.
This is actual fishnet. He is trying to show they survived by farming, by shrimping, by crabbing. Those islands were isolated, and that was the way they were able to retain the culture.
My work consists of a mixed media, fabrics, gels, stones, various types of other elements that I will seek out. It's important for me to put as many elements in the work so that it becomes alive, a living experience.
He uses clips of old newspapers from the time of actual slavery. So this is kind of like a time capsule.
Yeah,
during
D.C.
the time.
slaves free, Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
April 16th, 1862. Let joy and happiness ring from the land.
This is what in today's world in the family reunion scene, but this is the way the Gullah people did it. Mr. Campbell used actual elements from the land to make the painting.
There's actual rice, and I colored it red so that you could get the understanding of red rice.
I was working in a blueprint company in North Charleston, South Carolina, and a customer of mine bought a very interesting piece of paper money into me, an old note from the South. And I looked at it, and I realized this was Confederate money.
Mr. Jones did the series The Color of Money, where he took images of slaves from Confederate money and made paintings from them.
Oh, wow.
So this is a series that he's doing about the Gullah culture.
I thought that it was important to do a series of paintings based on this culture to try to preserve some of that history.
This is called Low Country Cookout, and this is a typical scene that you're going to find once you go to the few islands that are still remaining where the Gullah indigents still live and own the land.
Even the simple barbecue should mean more to us after seeing something like this and understanding it.
In environments like this, the culture is transmitted to the next generation.
10, 20 years from now, and the Gullah people don't have access to this land any longer to harvest the sweetgrass that they used to make sweetgrass baskets from.
So Mr. Jones is using the sweetgrass in the painting as a symbol to show that as the sweetgrass disappears, so does the Gullah culture disappear.
Chuma, please tell me a little bit about the Gullah language.
People come in here, of course, they hear my accent. I'm from Africa, and they think I'm Gullah. And I tell them my Gullah goes way back.
A lot of children for working them beans field. Yeah, look at them beans field and them tomatoes field, and we pick them tomatoes. But we sure...
That language goes back to slavery.
Forget them oyster and them shrimp and them crab.
You could still hear it in the Gullah storytellers. They do a lot of stories still all the way from slavery.
We just work so hard for pick them cotton.
This is the only place in the U.S. where you have descendants of slaves still living in the same place, still practicing elements of the culture that they came from Africa with. It needs to be preserved.
This is Gallery Chuma. We're hanging out in Charleston, South Carolina. And if you didn't know about the Gullah culture, you do now.
Ancestors come here on these shows, going out to all these plantations for grow down rice and things, for make buck of them rich.
Hey, it's your man G. Garvin, getting ready to go home. I'm leaving my favorite place, Charleston, South Carolina. The Gullah tour was amazing, the art was incredible, and the food was to die for. The man G. Garvin brought it to you right here in Charleston, South Carolina. Roll to a style, as I say, goodbye.